Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So the VN server has had a full rotation of endless Dream Realm bosses, and we have an idea of what are the top performing heroes in endless difficulty. Now Baelran, because people are not sure, is he going to be useful for endless Dream Realm or not? So far Baelran has not been meta in any of the Dream Realm bosses other than the Plague Creeper, where he is technically in the top team. I'll show you all a recap of all of the top teams from my viewer's account, but basically Baelran team was incredibly high on RNG, and even with 15 attempts, my viewer was unable to get the perfect RNG score. However, he ended up getting the top score with a non-Baelran team, as you see here, like a Harak team, 211 billion damage, because unless you get perfect RNG, the Baelran team will not work. So basically, Baelran is only useful in one of the Dream Realm bosses, which is Plague Creeper, and only in the incredibly high RNG team, which is neither here nor there. Who knows, with a charm upgrade, Talene could replace him in this team, as you guys know generally happens in Plague Creeper, but Harak is definitely dominating Plague Creeper. He is in every version of the best team. Now, if you take a look at the other teams here, Velara is going to be seeing a lot of use in endless difficulty, along with Phraesto. Of course, Shamira is still here with the twins, and these are going to be the top performing meta teams. My viewer has most of the meta heroes all built up on his account, so these are the overall strongest teams that have been found out so far in the endless difficulty. Elucia Sinbad is still dominating, which is nice to see that, because in the previous season, Sinbad did eventually get phased out of endless difficulty, but the charm bonus he has this season is really good. And moving on to the Crazed Shell Brood, this is going to be a boss where Velara is also not useful, which is kind of interesting. I don't fully understand why Velara is not good in Crazed Shell Brood, but she never has been. This is not a boss for her, but Shamir and Phraesto, they are dominating. Phraesto, it's really nice to see Phraesto back in the meta as well, and this is what happens when you get to endless difficulty. Phraesto really begins to shine again, and so you're going to get a payoff on your investment into him if you did build him up. And Phraesto twins, of course, Phraesto is still a dominant hero. Well, for Crazed Shell Brood is just mainly because of his the fact that both him and his illusion can be gulped. But for other bosses, he's also dealing decent damage here. Nocturne Judicator, definitely Velara is going to be top in Nocturne Judicator, which is good news. Along with that, you see the other heroes here, which basically, we already know this, even on Hell and Epic difficulty, these are basically the top lineup of heroes, but Velara is good here, which is a good news. Twins, of course, always have to be in the team. Sigmund, so Sigmund is going to be another boss where Velara is not good, and that's always been the case. This is so interesting. They have Rowan in the Sigmund boss. Rowan's effect reduces crit resist of the enemy, which I hardly think that matters. It's just the energy boosting to keep cycling Shamira's ultimate. That is crazy. How powerful Shamira is as a hero. Or I guess also cycling Pharaoh's energy so that he can just keep his circle active. But like a hero just to support them casting more frequently. That is crazy. But it's also because of the fact that Sigmund will keep stripping any buffs you have. So if you have like Mikola, Smokey, or if you have a hero that keeps providing buffs, they keep getting stripped. And so you have less value from them. And just having more utility from like a hero like Rowan to cycle ultimates makes a lot of sense. Of course, Rainier. Rainier's seeing a lot of use actually, even in endless difficulty, which is pretty surprising. Definitely, again, good stocks of Rainier if you've invested into him and gone to Mythic Plus. And Twins, of course, Shamira. Absolutely dominating. Necrodraken, so we do see Phraesto here, but mainly as food for the Harak, because of course Harak is going to absolutely smash Necrodraken. This is the perfect boss for him. He has mobility, he has high damage output, he's really good in endless difficulty, and I was telling you guys this, that Harak is just waiting for like this mid to end portion of phase 2. Even the early part of phase 3, Harak is going to be dominating because that is his perfect time to shine. Now, the problem is there are certain Dream Realm bosses that he just does not do well in. Sigmund will keep stripping his buffs. Thalassa, he cannot even attack the boss. So he has a really tough time with the boss lineup. But for those bosses where he is good, like Necrodraken, Plague Creeper, there's no competition with them. So there you guys go. Basically an idea of the top heroes in all of the Dream Realm bosses. And even in these Baelran team, it's not like Baelran is even doing that much. He's mainly clearing those plague rots maybe a little bit faster. But he's just here to be eaten by the Harak. And so like, honestly, recruiting for Baelran just for maybe like this crazy high RNG team, and honestly with more testing that could be an even better version like Talene rather than Baelran or something. So Yeah, Baelran is basically, in my eyes, completely non-meta for Dream Realm. For pre-Endless, he's not being useful. Endless difficulty, not useful. When we get to Mythic Plus Charms, it's going to be even more difficult for him to compete with like the Shakiras and Phraestos. So basically, Baelran is only an AFK stage hero, and then also a Primal Lord Magmazard hero, where he still is the king of that, but Harak is very close to him. And so like making an investment into Baelran, I can only recommend it if you are a big fan of AFK stage pushing. Yeah, because in PvP he also is not good. Based on my testing against people who have even Paragon 4 Baelrans, I have not been impressed at all by Baelran. And this is why I am planning, and I'm going to try to stay firm on this, not recruiting him at all. Because I think it is important, especially like even if you're a higher spender player. You know, sometimes you have to make the decision to skip on certain Celestial Hypogean heroes if they're not going to give you like a lot of benefit to your account. And Baelran, he just is not it. If he had some PvP usage, or if he was a bit better in some other meta game mode, I would actually consider. But the thing is, it's just kind of like he's a non-meta kind of AFK stage hero. Even Kulu I like more than him, because Kulu at least can be really good in PvP, and also she's good in AFK stages. Not as good as Baelran. Baelran has seen more use in AFK stages, but like, again, a lot of people point this out, and I agree, is that what is the point of hard pushing AFK stages? There's not a major advantage of doing it. If you're making it up to the daily cap of like Dream Realm and Supreme Arena, you don't need to go beyond that. You don't need to push like unless you really enjoy it. So like, of course, the people who love to push AFK stages, then Baelran is the hero for them. But for me, I don't like to push AFK stages. He's not the hero for me. So basically, there we have it. So like, in 4 of the Dream Realm bosses, the last Crystal Beetle, we're gonna have Velara. We're not in Cray Shellbrute, not in Elucia. Nocturne Judicature, she is gonna be in. And not even in Necro Draken, but in Plague Creeper. So Plague Creeper, the thing is, if you're running the non-Baelran team, then she is in. And I just feel like it's more stable. 218 billion damage compared to like these really RNG team with maybe a potential of going higher. So Velara is in basically 3 to 4 of the Dream Realm bosses top teams, even for Endless difficulty, showing you that she is a must-pull status hero. She's a must-pull hero. And really nice to see Sinbad and Elucia, Pheromore and Cray Shellbrute, as well as one more boss, Crystal Beetle. Really good to see that. So overall, even in Sigmund, Pheromore is dominating. I love Pheromore. He's one of my favorite heroes, and I'm really happy to see that he's here. And Rainier is also making a big debut. And Phraesto has been a bit out of the meta. When you look at this, I mean, a lot of these bosses really suck for Phraesto. That's kind of the problem. But wait, he is only used as a support. He's not even used as a damage dealer in any boss, because if you look at this here, we have him in Cray Shellbrute. He's just there to be gulped, right? He's just there because he has him and his illusion. And then you have him in Necro Draken to be eaten by Harak. Things might change when we get the Mythic Plus Charms of Phraesto, and also when we get Shakira, Mythic Plus Charms, probably some comps are going to come around. But honestly, Phraesto is going a bit out of the meta. However, that being said, I don't know. I still think that maybe the second, third best teams are going to be using Phraesto as a damage dealer. It's really difficult to say, honestly. Like, we're approaching a point where Phraesto could be a considered. I still don't think he's a skippable hero, because in these places, like, of course, if you're going to use him as Harak food, you need to upgrade him to plus 15 exclusive equipment, otherwise he doesn't respawn his illusion. And if you're using him in Cray Shellbrute, technically he doesn't have to be that highly upgraded, but he needs to be able to survive. So those are basically the things. But overall, this is the meta of early endless difficulty for the VN server. Things could obviously change, but this gives us a really good picture of the meta and the heroes which are going to be good here. And this is good for our own investments. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about all of this. And what do you think about Baelran? What do you think about Velara in this endless difficulty of VN server? And I can't wait for global server also to enter into endless, which should be in the upcoming week. But thanks for watching, guys. That is going to be it for this one. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There's a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me at no extra cost to you. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.